Okay, welcome to this special edition of Ruiz Jr. versus Anthony Joshua 2, the rematch, clash on the dunes. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button. Make sure you've got the notification bell up on YouTube as well. So, this is it, the moment of truth. We hope you enjoy the show. So, the moment of truth is upon us. By this time, tomorrow night, these two guys will be either in the ring or on the way to the ring. UK time 9 p.m. The ring walk for Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, or Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Anthony Joshua, whichever way you want to look at it. So we brought you the prediction preview last time. We told you what punch that Ruiz would catch Joshua with. We told you how the sequence would happen. And believe it or not, it happened. And to a lot of people, they believe it was a fluke. Ruiz is just fat, out of shape. And Joshua made a mistake. And Joshua is coming to Saudi Arabia to put things right. Fair enough. So let's get into this breakdown and let's see what we make of it now for the rematch, and see if we can make it twice in a row for this predicting this fight. Lots to talk about, so I'm going to be here and there, bring it all together, and then come to an assessment. The first fight, going into the first fight, I'd been speaking to people for years about the vulnerabilities of Anthony Joshua's style. And I said it was only a matter of time before those vulnerabilities were going to get exposed. Andy Ruiz was the guy to capitalize on it for a number of reasons. Number one, Andy Ruiz has been boxing a lot longer than AJ, 10 years more than AJ. Andy Ruiz has got quick hands. The guys that have troubled AJ, have hurt AJ, haven't had the quick explosive type combinations to capitalize on AJ's mistakes. You look at the Dillian Whyte fight. Dillian Whyte, when he caught AJ, stunned him, but was unable to put 4 or 5 punches together in a sequence to stop AJ. You look again at the Klitschko fight. Klitschko knocked him down with the right hand, but then Klitschko sat back and was hesitant to engage. Klitschko isn't the type of guy to be attacked first, because he himself has been chinned on a number of occasions, and his style, based on the way Emmanuel Stewart redesigned his style or reconfigured his style, is to be safety first. So it's not Klitschko's mindset to go out there and take you out unless he's definitely sure he's got you hurt. Andy Ruiz will rush in there and try and take you out as soon as he's got you hurt, as we saw with the Joshua fight. I said in my pre-fight to the Joshua fight with Ruiz, I said, listen, what's going to happen is, if Joshua decides to engage with this guy and trade with this guy, he'll get caught with a left hook. He'll get caught with a left hook, and Ruiz will throw a combination of punches. He's got the faster hands, he's got a good chin, and he's here to win. This guy is not here to mess around. This guy is here to do serious damage. And I remember him fighting Joseph Parker, and I thought he beat Joseph Parker. And I thought, well, hold on. Parker is far more flexible, far more mobile than Joshua, has a better chin than Joshua, and is far more busy than Joshua, and he was getting tagged with big shots. So if he's getting tagged with big shots, and he's lighter and he's faster than Joshua, and he's getting tagged with big shots, then this big stiff, in comparison, bodybuilder, when the punches go flying, he's going to not be able to get out of the way of the punches, and he doesn't take punches very well. You know, Joshua is a very good fighter. He looks spectacular if he's on the front foot and he's dominating and he's the one bullying you. He's great like that. On the front foot, he's brilliant. But if you put Joshua to the ropes, if you put pressure on Joshua, the first thing Joshua does is get his hands up, balls himself into a shell and doesn't know what to do. My example of where I felt that Joshua, his weaknesses were, is back in the amateurs, Nista, in the World Championships. I believe, or the European Championships. I'm going to be correct in that, where Joshua was backed up against the ropes and the guy that short like Ruiz landed hurtful punches and backed Joshua up. Joshua didn't know what to do and was completely confused and got stopped on his feet. Joshua can make all the excuses he wants for it, but I haven't seen any adjustments from his amateur style to his professional style. Yes, he's become bulky and big with muscles, and that has been his selling point. He's a big guy with lots of muscles. The women love him for it. The men wish they could look like him. An Adonis of a man. As some would say, he's built like a tank. He's a lot of men's dreams. The way he looks, the way he's so chiseled, and people believe that body structure and shape is the way the heavyweight history has been, and it's not that way. There's been no heavyweight boxer in the history of world heavyweight boxing who's had a body structure like that, who's been a long reigning world champion. Don't say Klitschko. Klitschko has got he's got fast twitch muscles, which is very different. Klitschko's not, his muscles are not based on big lifting heavy weights and being big and bulky. Klitschko is fast twitch, which means he has a fast jab and he can actually use a jab and put punches together. Joshua's big and bulky. He's all about power. Klitschko's about boxing behind a good jab and setting his punches up. Very different. You'll never hear a guy say, a commentator say, Joshua's controlling his fight behind the jab, because he doesn't have an educated jab. He puts it out there, but it's not an educated jab. He's never had an educated jab. He's not that type of guy. He's the kind of guy that's going to go out there and blow you out. And to his credit, he became world champion that way. He became unified champion that way. He was able to intimidate opponents such as Parker, who really, as soon as he got in ring with Joshua, more or less froze and wanted to stick around for go the distance with Joshua. Okay, so you've got to give Joshua his credit where it's due. He has been an intimidating force to those who have been allowed to be intimidated. The guys who stood up to Joshua, he's not looked as impressive. You go and look at the fight, and then I go back and I think to myself, hold on. The thing that's made Joshua his trademark are his muscles, his big muscles, his big frame. You may not be biblical people or scriptural people, but I will use one example here of Samson and Delilah. And I just wonder if Andy Ruiz is Anthony Joshua's Delilah. Often people have heard me talk about Anthony Joshua as Hercules and an Adonis of a man, and you've heard me joke about it. But in this case, Samson, we all know what happened when Samson told Delilah his secret. Samson no longer had his strength. Is this the case? Because now look at Joshua. Joshua, the guy whose his whole career is built on being an Adonis and having big muscles and all this stuff. He comes into the fight without those big muscles. And if Joshua is, I'm not saying he is, if he's an insecure type of character, if he's an insecure type of person and he put all those muscles on so he could use it to bully opponents, he used the muscle to intimidate opponents, he used the muscle to say, yeah, I'm a big man, I'm a bad man. If he used those muscles in that way, and those muscles were just behind a very insecure young man, and the muscles were his I don't call it his religion, but his philosophy, then he's made a terrible mistake here in losing that weight, because he hasn't got that bulk no more. Now, looking at Joshua and his, he looks ill, he looks sick. And the first question I would ask is, okay, you've lost the weight. And I get it. You've lost the weight because you don't really want to have all that bulk, because you want to move around the ring and you don't want to stand and trade with Ruiz. I get it. So the game plan is don't get hit. Okay. Don't get hit. Don't get hit with that left hook again. If you don't get hit with that left hook again and you box this guy, you can win the fight. But there's a problem with that, because you were doing that for the first 2 rounds. And you did it in the 3rd round. And you dropped the guy in the 3rd round. But then after that, what happened then? You were unable to keep away from that guy for the rest of the fight. And that's when Ruiz really got going. You were unable to dance and box and get yourself out of trouble. Every time Ruiz got close to you, clipped you, you fell over. So it's a big gamble to lose that weight. You don't look strong. You look strong in pictures, but you just physically, you just look drained. You look drained. I don't know if that's emotional, but you look drained, and your physical strength would have been key in this fight against Andrew Ruiz. Andrew Ruiz is physically a very strong man, very strong. And these are guys that have sparred Ruiz, very, very physically strong. And you need all your strength to be able to hold, to be able to take punches better. You think you were much heavier then and you got hit with those punches and you went over then. So now you're going to get hit with it by a guy that's 10 pounds heavier now than he was the first time round. So you've come down in weight and he's gone up by 10 pounds. If you're getting hit by a 20 stone man who's coming to hurt you and he's got faster hands than you, don't for 1 second think that because you've lost weight, you're going to have quicker hands than Andy Ruiz. It's genetic. It don't happen, bro. It doesn't happen that way. If somebody's got faster hands than you might get a little quicker, but Ruiz has got faster hands than you. So problem there. And the other problem is that nowhere in your career have you boxed for 12 rounds around the ring and not got clipped. Yeah, people say, well, the Joseph Parker fight. Well, if you know boxing, you wouldn't even mention the Joseph Parker fight. Joseph Parker didn't come to fight. Joseph Parker didn't knock Anthony Joshua down. Joseph Parker didn't stop Anthony Joshua. Joseph Parker's not a combination puncher like Ruiz. They're two different types of guys. Parker's a puncher, like a counter puncher boxer, right? Ruiz is a swarmer. His whole idea is to get inside and cause damage. Very different. Parker wants to do the fight from the outside, doesn't want to get involved, doesn't want to get caught with shots. Ruiz don't mind taking a shot, getting inside. Different guys. Parker's 6'4" plus, right? Ruiz is 6'2". Come on. If that was 6'1", 6'2", Ruiz is looking to get inside and do damage. Parker's looking to kick the fight from the outside. So the Parker fight, you can look good against Parker because Parker didn't want to fight. Parker didn't want to fight. Parker was scared of you. But this guy, Ruiz, is looking to rip your head off. And there's a totally different situation altogether. He knocked you down 4 times. So if anybody out there who thinks that Joshua, when he was boxing, remember the first 2 rounds, he was out there boxing on the jab, yeah? Trying to box on the jab like Larry Holmes. You saw what happened when they engaged. At some point, Ruiz is going to hit Joshua. And when Ruiz hits Joshua, we've seen what happens. No amount of fitness training, no amount of working a jab, no amount of losing weight is going to help you take that punch. So don't get hit in the temple, don't get hit in the chin, don't get hit in the body. Just don't get hit. And the possibilities, the likelihood of Ruiz not landing a punch is slim to none. Based on a guy who's got 10 years more experience than you. Ruiz is the more experienced guy coming into this fight, right? Ruiz is the more experienced guy. He's been fighting guys since he was 8 years old and fighting guys that are, much bigger than himself from a young age. That's how it was for Ruiz. He didn't just come rolled over overnight and just became a success like that. Ruiz has been around for a long time, and those who know boxing know this. It's just as arrogant people that and fanboys don't quite get the sport would have gone and decided to think Ruiz was a bum. That's what you get for underestimating and being arrogant. This is what you get. You guy getting turned over. Okay, so Andy Ruiz, let's talk about him a second. So, he's coming 10 pounds over. Now, I can tell you something firsthand. Again, when I was up close, I spent the week with Stavern when he was fighting Joe Joyce, and it means something. When you get to walk around and meet everyone from Showtime behind the scenes, and you go to the fighter meetings, and you watch a fighter how he prepares in the hotel room to walk into the O2 arena, to going and walking ringside with that guy to the ring. All those things, you get to learn a lot more about a fighter, how he's eating. He has a heavyweight, how he's eating, how he's moving. So 10 pounds. Well, first I'll ask the question of Andy Ruiz. Is he really that heavy? I mean, I want to know if he's that heavy, what boots he was wearing, and if it's all psychological games of Andy Ruiz. Because, people think, oh, he's overweight. He's 10 pounds heavier. He's 10 pounds heavier. That means that Ruiz has not trained for a fight. He didn't take the top off, which was interesting. So I would love to have seen Ruiz take the top off and take that hat off what he was wearing and whatever. I'd like to have seen what he was doing. I'd like to see what's under that damn hat he's got on. It's quite. I'd like to know what was under that hat. I'd like to know what's under that top. So I ask the questions of these things as well. A guy being 10 pounds heavier means he's 10 pounds, punching 10 pounds harder. His feet are not going to be a problem. His hand speed is still going to be there. And that's 10 pounds more Joshua's going to have to shift. I mean, look, let's put it this way. Being real with you, the way I look at it is this. We are in a world in boxing today which is corrupt as hell. All right. I don't know if this is a cash out fight for Anthony Joshua because the fights he's getting X amount of million for the fight, and this is a cash out fight. The pay per view is $24.95. Is this a cash out fight? Is this a goodbye to boxing from Anthony Joshua, who's going to give it a go, but really he shouldn't be in the ring with Andy Ruiz or not? I don't know. I do know this much: you get knocked down 4 times. You are getting hurt in sparring. You were getting hurt previously in sparring before the lead up to this fight and getting knocked out in sparring lead up to this fight. So you had bad preparations for the lead up to the first fight. You shouldn't have been in Miami. You're now coming to the second fight. You don't do well in America. You're now going to Saudi Arabia. I don't believe that mentally you're a fighter that can perform away from home. And you're saying all some very confusing things. 1 minute you have a military mindset. Then you have a killer mindset. Then you have a challenger mentality. Then you have a champion mentality. Then you're talking about sticking it in the oven and taking it out the oven and not getting burnt. You're talking about, well, boxing's got a short window, but really you're going to box 250. You sound a very confused young man. That's the problem I've got here with you. Very confused. Not sure who you are and what you're about. And I don't see a passion within you. I see you posing with pictures. I see you doing all the things so far, but really and truly, I won't know that much more about Anthony Joshua until he steps through the ropes and he gets in the ring. Has he overcome those demons? Nobody knows. But from what I see, he doesn't look healthy. As I said, I think dropping the weight, I'm concerned about. I'd rather Ruiz be 10 pounds overweight or 10 pounds over than be looking like he does than Joshua, who's lost the weight. I said this the other day in my prediction for Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder too. I said you can lose weight as a heavyweight, that's fine, but this isn't Weight Watchers. And I said you'll see the effects of that weight loss when Wilder hits him on the chin. Oh, he's going to be lighter and he'll move quicker and he'll move better. I said, well, okay, let's see what his durability is like. He took 1 punch from Wilder and that was the end of Luis Ortiz. Remember the first fight? Luis Ortiz took punches and he was able to come back and give you that great 7th or 8th round. The way I look at it is this. Does Andy Ruiz have the hunger? If he does, he'll close the range down on Joshua. Joshua is only effective if Andy Ruiz backs up and allows him to box, which you mean take the center of the ring. Joshua's got to take the center of the ring and box. But there's a problem with that because Ruiz, the experienced Ruiz, if Ruiz shows up, the Ruiz who's meant to be showing up, meaning that he fights his fight, he jumps on Joshua, and the fight continues from round 7. He jumps on Joshua, and the fight, for me, ends within the first 3 rounds, even first 4. I think Joshua will be confused into the style he's going to go about, whether he's going to try and box or brawl. I think Ruiz is going to come at him like a steam train, and he's going to be landing punches all over the place. I really do. I think he's going to let his hands fly like a gun, like a shootout. He knows once he hits Joshua, the fight's done. He knows that. And he knows that Joshua's still carrying demons within him. Nobody recovers that quickly and comes back and fights for an immediate rematch just like that and repairs everything. No. So he's got wear and tear on him. Plus, he's got the things that happen with him. The first defeat. So he's got the scars of that. Plus, he's gone straight into camp and training again. The scars from the training camp he just finished here. And now he's going to go back and fight Ruiz again. No, them demons are going to come back. Those demons are going to come back. I'm not concerned about Ruiz's extra £10 because I don't even know if that really is £10. You know, heaviest of his career. Well, maybe so. Maybe so. But, you know, it's not like he's moving. He's not going to be against a guy who is a guy who's good moving around the ring. That's just not Anthony Joshua. Joshua does not move around the ring. That's not his style. And you name me in all his fights, Joshua boxes like Ali and bounces around the ring. He can't do that. At some point, he's going to set his feet and want to have a go, and then he'll get nailed. If not that, then he'll get pushed to the ropes and get bullied in a fight. You just won't have the bulk to push Ruiz back. Ruiz is physically very strong. The only thing about Ruiz, the only thing we'll be concerned about Ruiz is whether he's been paid off, whether he's been told, you know what, here, take this money, son, and we'll give you double that amount of money. Just hand the titles over. If it's like that, then Joshua's guaranteed a win. But if Ruiz has not been paid off, right? I don't see this fight going 12 rounds. I don't see a guy with the sort of experience and know-how of Ruiz who knows who's how to close the range down, cut off the ring. Joshua's going to get hit at some point. And it's funny because the night before I had a dream and I dreamt that Joshua was actually on the back foot trying to box, and Ruiz hit him with an either overhand right and laid him out flat on the canvas. Flat, straight, flat, laid out flat. And I think this time round, because of the way Joshua's looking and because of his weight, and I'm concerned about that, I really feel that Ruiz is going to knock Joshua out. It's not going to be a pretty sight. This will not be a pretty fight. If it goes according to the rules, because if Joshua decides to box, and the Saudi crowd know Mike Tyson, right? They know Tyson, and they know Tyson was a ferocious animal. And when they see his guy with big muscles now backing up against a guy who's charging him, the Saudi crowd might not be impressed for that. So that might play to Joshua's ego. And the Saudi crowd might start booing Joshua, all right? And we don't know how he will respond to a booing crowd with those back foot tactics. So it's all really uphill here for Joshua. I'm sorry to say, I look for Ruiz to stop Joshua. I'll give him up to the halfway point, but I really expect him to blast him out of there in the first three. Really, I do. I just don't see how. I don't care what you're teaching him. I just don't see how subconsciously, you know, he's a bully, and I think he's got a bully mentality, and it's all right when he's on top, but when you start to hit him back, he don't like it. That's what I pick up. And you see how he's tucking his hand up by his head now, and he's throwing a jab. Well, it leaves all the body exposed. No. Ruiz has got his number. So for me, I'm looking Ruiz knockout within 6, but probably within the first 3. Soon as Ruiz hits Joshua, your fight is as good as done. I just don't see. This is just a bad matchup for Josh. A real bad matchup. Listen, if Joshua beats Andy Ruiz, I don't want to hear excuses from either of these guys. I don't hear excuses from Ruiz. He had 10 weeks to prepare. He's fought Joshua before. So I don't hear excuse from him. And I don't hear an excuse from Joshua, right? Because he's lost the weight. You know, they say he's going to be better. I don't see how you can be better second time round when the first time you got knocked down 4 times. I don't see how you can be better. I don't understand how you can be better. I don't get that. It don't work like that. You could be better. You can try and cover over the cracks. Better? No, that takes over a period of 4 or 5 fights for you to get better. Not in one fight. I don't believe it. In a short space of time? No, sorry. Now you're trying to defy logic here. Sorry, you make all those corrections? Well, you tell me how you learned that so quickly, and yet in the first fight you couldn't keep Andy Ruiz off you, and suddenly now you're going to come out like Muhammad Ali in box. No, sorry, it don't work that way. Might happen like that in the computer games, but the reality is when Ruiz gets close to Joshua, I expect him to flinch, to go back the way he was before, and get nailed. That's it. So Joshua to get knocked out within the distance. Sorry, no excuses from either party. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear excuses from Joshua's side. Ah, the heat, Saudi Arabia, the weight loss. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear any bullshit excuses. So, pardon my language. I don't want to hear any bullshit excuses. I don't want to hear it. You got your trainer in. You had the three options: stay the same, make the changes, or get rid of whatever. The three options. You've been talking like a philosopher. Okay, so I trust in your end, Josh. You got it all together. You're one of the bosses. You got it together. And Ruiz, I don't want any excuses from you. You fought the guy before. You knocked him down 4 times. You can't take your power. You know you're an experienced fighter. I don't want to hear no excuses from you either. It weren't my night. I don't want to hear that shit. No excuses. None of you. You fought before. The pair of you, right? No excuses. So, and I don't want to hear excuses from fight fans afterwards. If Joshua wins, he's the man. In because he would have overcome tremendous amount of things to have come over to overcome, to come back, to beat Andy Ruiz, the guy that a lot of people are some are saying would beat Wilder. All right. So look, no excuses. No excuses. No excuses. Don't want to hear any excuses about, he shouldn't have taken a rematch. It was a bad strategy for him to listen. A lot of people who supporting this Joshua losing weight crap don't support it. It's garbage, absolute garbage. You know, me, if it were me and I were managing Joshua, I don't care how much money's on the table. Listen, go away, rest, heal up. You're a young man. You say you're going to box 250. You're a young man. Don't worry about the heavyweight titles. Take your time. Rest. Heal up. Come again. Take some learning fights. Learn how to hold. Learn how to grapple. Get yourself into a Klitschko camp. Learn your trade properly. Oh, he's not champion, but he's a champion. You should jump straight back in there. No. If you're Lennox Lewis, you got knocked out of one shot, maybe you can go and jump in a rematch. But it wasn't one shot. It wasn't a one-shot knockout defeat. Right? It wasn't a one-shot knockout defeat. This was a systematic beating up. You got beaten up. You got knocked through the ropes. You spat your gum shield out. And if for what that's all I can say about this. Really, there's not much more to say. Not much more to say. But if Andy Ruiz wins, please give the man his credit. Please give the man his credit. And if Joshua wins, please give the man credit. But I think if Joshua wins the rematch, he should give Ruiz a rematch. There should be a rubber match. That's what I think, personally. There should be Joshua Ruiz 3. And they should make that fight in the UK. That's what I think. So that's my thoughts on this fight. Let's see what people are saying in the room. Oh, and by the way, could you imagine Mike Tyson walking up to Evander Holyfield going, "Hey man, how do I beat you?" Well, Muhammad Ali going up to George Foreman and asking him how did he beat him. I don't get that. I don't understand this crap, man. I don't understand it. It's not even funny. The last time you give the man your belts. This time you're asking the man how can I beat you? What's the way to beat you, man? And you don't learn. Now you're taking a picture of your dad, and Ruiz like you're on holiday together. What the hell? But you're taking holiday snaps. I don't understand why you, Ruiz, and your dad are taking photographs together. Like you on holiday together. Like, you're going out raving together. You're going out for the first night out in Saudi Arabia. You guys are about to fight. This is a man who's looking to render you unconscious again. This is a man that beat you up and embarrassed you in America on your debut. He embarrassed you in America, and you still got time to put your hands around the man and hugging him up. What is this world coming to? You got and Kovalev shaking hands like they're doing business deals. And listen, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The gloves are off with Paulina Malignaggi and Carthage and all them guys together. Listen, understand this first. It's company men talking about a company man. Joshua is the man at Sky Sports. He's the man. He's the flagship. Not Canelo, he's the flagship. So you can't be on a pay-per-view card when he's the man. He's more or less your boss. You're sitting there saying, nah, Joshua's going to get knocked out, you know. Joshua's going to get bust up, you know. You can't be saying that stuff on Sky. You can't be saying that. You can't say that. So all them people sitting around the table there, see, David Hayes is a little different because he's a bit of promoter. He's got to watch himself what he's saying. I understand David because he's in a bit of difficult position. But the rest of them guys around the table, they're company men. They're company men. I'm sorry. Company men. So what you're really paying for is the gloves are off. And that's what it is. It's just company men sitting around a table talking about a company man. That's like me sitting around a table. Bill Gates employs me and everyone around the table. And we're talking about Bill Gates' chances of taking over the world, right? And we sit down saying, what do you think about Bill Gates taking over the world? Well, boy, the boss is a bad man, you know. Do you think he can do it? Of course Bill can do it. I want to keep my job. I got a cushy job with Bill. You think I want to say something? No, man. Bill's a waste man. Forget Bill, he's a waste man. If I said that, I'm out of a job. So think about Froch. What's Froch going to do? I mean, you know, he likes the camera. So what's he going to do? David Hay loves the camera. What are you going to do outside it? You need Johnny Nelson. Well, you know Johnny Nelson's like Adam Smith's pet. You ever see when Johnny Nelson gets out of line? Adam Smith just gives him a look. And Johnny just goes back for Johnny Nelson. It's sickening watching these guys around the table. Sickening. As long as you accept it as company man talking about a company man, okay, accept it. Sit down, laugh, enjoy it. But don't tell me it's expert opinions from guys who are biased and reading the script. They're all falling in line. You know, you got us to say, well, you know, Sky, you know, we've really got to be giving, you know, the best value at Sky. And the way to give best value is to talk up our product. But make sure you don't say a bad word at Sky about anybody that we represent. No, we don't do that. That's not how we sell pay-per-view. We have to kiss the asses of the guys that we promote. They're the best in the business. And that's how Sky do things. Yeah, that's how you've got to be. Read the script and follow the script. If you can't follow the script, you'll end up like Glenn McCrory. So, you know, that's how it goes. Sorry. It is what it is. So let me just go through these. I haven't said it. I've just been ranting off now. So let's see. Let's see what people are saying here. Okay, I'm in the room now. I've got Damien MCC says, despite what people think, the keys to victory are: do we really think AJ can box off the back foot and win? Okay, well, okay. What I want you to do, and I keep telling fight fans this all the time who think AJ losing weight will be able to box around the ring, just look at AJ versus Andy Leg? Was it Andy Leg? Matt Leg. Watch Anthony Joshua versus Matt Leg. Yeah? Matt Leg charges Anthony Joshua. Watch how Joshua responds to it. That's Matt Leg. That's a slim version of Anthony Joshua. Not much has changed. Okay. AJ is in great athletic shape, but has his boxing skills caught up with his physique in only 6 months. His actual boxing skills are dreadful. Exactly. Poor in jab and poor foot mobility. This requires improving. Yeah? Well, it's a bit late now in the day, isn't it? Mark? Brian says, AJ going to win that fight. I cannot believe Ruiz is coming that heavier. Yeah, well, you're talking like Ruiz is not Mr. Universe. Look, I'm not convinced. The thing about Ruiz's weight, I would be concerned about Ruiz's weight. Ruiz doesn't look sick. Joshua looks sick. He looks like he's took off too much weight. Nah, it ain't being like that. Joshua will probably put on 5 pounds after the weigh-in, brother. Ruiz gonna lose 7 pounds maybe earlier. Bro, bro, listen, this is not the welterweights. This is heavyweight boxing. Bro, anyway, Mark says, Ruiz may be 20 stone, but he may still have more stamina, mobility, and punch output than AJ, despite the worst BMA. The thing is, if you look at the history of heavyweight boxing, Riddick Bowe was a big guy. You know, there have been heavyweights that have had big guys, fat guys. Mason, okay, we can go through the heavyweight division. I mean, more guys that look like Andy Ruiz. Tubby, look at George Foreman, the big fat guy. George Foreman. Okay, there've been more guys that look like that and been reigning than guys that look like Anthony Joshua bodybuilders. If bodybuilding was the way to the heavyweight championship of the world, then everybody would be a bodybuilder. But that's not the case. Joshua couldn't handle Ruiz's speed the first time, and he won't handle it the second time. Nah, Joshua will win, no doubt. Ruiz gonna gas out after 4 rounds. Bro, Ruiz gassing out. Can you name me one fight where Ruiz gassed out? Please bring me the fight where Ruiz gassed out, and then I'll bring you about 4 or 5 fights where Joshua's gassed. Joshua has a history of being gassed in fights. Mate, bro, you're in some delusional. Stop doubting Joshua. He will win. No, not. I've got plenty to doubt him. Dodgy chin, dodgy body. Hey, listen, not very good boxing fundamentals. Again,